High Sheriff, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've just had a chance to introduce yourselves to the people sitting at your table. I'm only sorry I haven't met most of you already this evening. But I'll introduce myself. I'm Charles Shuttleworth. I'm the Lord-Lieutenant, and it's my pleasant duty to welcome you all this evening to Browsholme. It's an absolute privilege to be Lord-Lieutenant of Lancashire. I represent the Queen in the county, and one of my duties is to support our communities in whatever way I can. And tonight is such an occasion, with your help. Now, every county has a Lord-Lieutenant. We do all the sorts of things that Her Majesty would wish to do if she could be everywhere at once. And I do our best to help with the public institutions, such as the magistracy and the armed forces, both of which rely heavily on community support. I take a non-political interest in our local authorities and the NHS. I often visit our businesses. I know I visited some of you. I visit charities, places of worship. I present medals and awards on behalf of the Queen. The Queen's Award for Enterprise to local businesses. I hope you've all heard of that, and I do hope lots of you might think about participating in competing for a Queen's Award for Enterprise. I'm presenting two next month. I also present the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service to volunteer groups. Last month I presented 7 to Lancashire winners this year. Only last week, I presented Queen's Medals to members of the North West Ambulance Service. And next month, I'll be holding an investiture in Lancaster Castle for recipients of national honours from the county. I also have the task of arranging and hosting royal visits to Lancashire, and I'm hoping we can get 1 or 2 next year to mark the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. That is a unique and special occasion. None of us have seen it before, and none of us will see another. Perhaps I could encourage all of you to celebrate the Jubilee. You could plant some trees, or even light a beacon. Doesn't have to be on top of a hill, could be on the car park. But planting trees, lighting beacons, a good excuse for a corporate event to mark that unique occasion we're looking forward to next year. Now, one of the things I'm very proud of is the Community Foundation for Lancashire. That's why we're all here tonight. I am the foundation's president, and I've been involved with it since its creation in Lancashire in 2007. Community foundations are now well established in almost every county. They are tried and tested and are the recognised way of securing local giving to help local disadvantage. Local giving to help local disadvantage. It's what we all want to do, and supporting and using the Community Foundation for Lancashire is a really straightforward and effective way of doing it. Our foundation knows where the problems are and can make sure that funds go directly to where they're most needed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to hand over to Edwin Booth, who is the inspiration behind tonight's event. Edwin's well known to you as one of Lancashire's leading businessmen and as someone who plays a significant part in tackling general issues facing our county. Edwin has a distinguished record of public service, and he's currently serving a year in office as High Sheriff of Lancashire. I'm very grateful to him for his initiative in proposing and leading tonight's event. Edwin, over to you.
Lord-Lieutenant, Lady Shuttleworth, ladies and gentlemen. Over 180 years ago, a young boy by the name of Edwin Henry Booth left his home in Bury and trudged his way to the sanctuary of a family friend in Gorton, Manchester. He could no longer stand being beaten by his stepfather and resolved never to return. After he had endured great hardship eking out a living, he alighted upon the opportunity to take up an apprenticeship for a grocer in Preston, which he took up while attending night school to make up for his time out of the classroom. Blackpool was just a fishing village before being connected to the Preston-Fleetwood railway line in 1846, and his employer saw an opportunity for trade at what was described very quaintly as an up-and-coming watering place. However, the Preston grocer was struggling with the competition in the town and told young Edwin that he was welcome to go and try his luck up the coast if he so wished. Borrowing some stock, he set up on the emerging market street and commenced business, paying back his obligations with interest within 3 months. Booths was born. I'm telling you this because there are still thousands of Edwins in the world whose lives seem hopeless and who see no prospect of fulfillment through which to lead a dignified existence. Edwin's trials were written down in his short autobiography titled Shadow and Sheen, and his story has always inspired me to do what I can to help make lives better for people experiencing deprivation. It is a great privilege to perform the role of High Sheriff, and there are some grand events celebrating the honour. High Sheriffs must support the judiciary and policing while upholding the dignity of the Crown. However, we are encouraged to concentrate our time on subjects of the greatest interest to us, and put simply, mine are deprivation and the reintegration of ex-offenders back into society through employment and the understanding of life skills. For many years, Booths has been a member of the Cumbria Community Foundation, and it struck me that Lancashire should have its very own group of businesses who are keen to support the many small voluntary groups performing amazing acts in our county's communities. Not only is my business a subscriber to the CCF, but we have also provided emergency funds during extreme weather events due to the Cumbria Community Foundation's power to rally support at short notice and direct funds quickly to those in the greatest need. Lancashire Investors in Community is an initiative born out of the conversations that I have had with the Community Foundation for Lancashire's Chief Executive, Ray Brooke, who will fill you in with some more details in a moment. Ray and her team could not have been more helpful to the county's latest honorary agitator. Apart from the value to the Foundation of having a dynamic representative body of businesses as members, this is an opportunity for close engagement with their objectives and reach. My business has 5 key trading stores in Cumbria, employing several hundred people, and the opportunity to attend webinars and events has brought us closer to the issues that really matter up in the north. As with so many initiatives, it seemed a good idea to consult a number of friends and associates to second sense whether or not this is just another High Sheriff's whim. But I'm pleased to say that the response was 100% positive. And I'm extremely grateful to all of you who have taken the trouble to travel here tonight, not least the representatives from CCLA and United Utilities and Beaver and Struthers, who have very kindly sponsored this evening's event. I'm also indebted to Robert and Amanda Parker here at Browsholme Hall for providing the venue for our dinner. Thank you also to Andrew Tuggy from the UK Community Foundation, who has travelled to be with us tonight. Back in 2007, as you have already heard, our Lord-Lieutenant was one of the founders of the Community Foundation for Lancashire. We are very thankful for his foresight, which has enabled millions of pounds to be directed over the years to people who find it difficult to lead what many of us see as being a normal life. It just remains for me to say that there is no such thing as a free dinner, or at least I hope not, and that your membership of Lancashire Investors in Community will be welcomed by so many voluntary groups whose activities rarely register on the countrywide radar. There is so much more that we can all do together. Thank you very much indeed again for attending this evening, and I should now like to introduce Ray Brooke, the Chief Executive of the Community Foundation for Lancashire. Ray.
I'm a little shorter than Edwin, so just a moment. Okay. Thank you for the introduction, Edwin. I'd also like to thank you for offering your time, support and drive for Lancashire Investors and Community. It really is greatly appreciated. I'm conscious not everyone in the room this evening will have insight to the Community Foundation for Lancashire and what we do. So here is a very brief synopsis. Established as a registered charity in 2007, we are part of a national network of 47 community foundations. The aim of community foundations is to help individuals and organisations give to causes that matter to them, where there is most need and where it will have greatest impact. Since the mid-70s, that growing network of community foundations has distributed over £1 billion throughout the UK in the form of small grants to grassroots community groups, many of them here in Lancashire. We work with businesses, high net worth individuals, public sector bodies, with charitable trusts to distribute funds on their behalf. We promote local giving for local disadvantage. Our service is robust. We offer strategic advice, community insight, due diligence, reputational management, and measurement of impact. We have distributed over £16 million throughout Lancashire. And those funds would not have been guaranteed for the region had we not have existed. We also work with the most inspirational community leaders. They devote themselves to their local community and they are the true unsung heroes. My team and I have the greatest of respect for the work they do, and that makes us work harder to support them. These grassroots community groups cover a wide range of issues: social isolation, food poverty, digital exclusion, giving life chances to underprivileged children, and mental well-being, just to name a few. So that's a brief outline of the national picture and how we fit into it. But what about Lancashire specifically and the community engagement post the pandemic? I have the huge privilege of being the CEO for Community Foundation for Lancashire for over 4 years. I am fortunate enough to travel around this truly stunning county. But as well as seeing the beautiful rural aspects, such as where we are this evening, I also see areas of huge disadvantage, where poverty is blatantly evident and need is very real. Deprivation, hardship, challenge, and struggle. Of the top 10 areas of multiple deprivation in the UK, Lancashire has 3 of them: Blackpool, Burnley, Blackburn with Darwen. No other county in the UK has that many. During May 2020, Channel 4 News visited Lancashire to report on poverty during the pandemic. They visited 2 charities, Churley Buddies and Watch Us Grow, that the Community Foundation for Lancashire had provided funding to in order to help them to continue to help others during the most challenging of times. It is one of the most moving pieces of news footage that I have seen, and I'd like to share some of it with you this evening, and I'll explain why later.
Hello, is that Ash?
Yes, speaking, yeah.
I'm from Chorley Buddies.
Hello.
I believe you're not so well at the moment, Ash?
No,
right.
I got a cancer in between my lung and my spine. we just get into a nice routine. And it just happened. I had to separate myself. And my daughter rang me, she said to me, I can come and stay with you now. I said no. She wanted to come and stay. She was good. My next door neighbour, I can hear somebody laughing outside or next door, I don't know. I can hear them laughing. Nice. Nice to hear people laughing and enjoying themselves. Make me feel better. I just want to get better, really.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to get better.
Yeah.
Get back to normal.
Yeah. Well, you're still sounding really positive, Ash. So
oh yeah.
And you've got that objective, haven't you?
Yeah.
To see your family, to go on holiday.
Yeah.
You've got all of these goals that you want to meet. So I think that's really. I'm really pleased. I think that's really good.
Oh yeah, I've got lots of things to look forward to.
I would like to think that things will change. We need to continue to reach out to people around us because we have lost a sense of community over the years, and I think that I would like to think that'll be a legacy, or part of the legacy anyway, from what we're going through at the moment. Hopefully.
Tomorrow, what we're struggling for is tin stuff. We've got fresh products to make meals
so
with.
how many food parcels are you going to make up?
Tomorrow we're making about 20.
Oh gosh.
We don't need all that from you, we just need what you can spare.
I've only come back today because I've been off. My husband and I were both ill with the virus. So that was about 6 weeks ago. So I've been away. So I've just come back today.
And how are you doing? How's...
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Sadly, my husband didn't make it. Yes, we're doing all right. I have 2 boys and we're doing all right. So I thought I'd come back and be useful.
Yeah.
And I'm not on my own. There's thousands of people, isn't there, that have died.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people grieving out there.
Yeah.
We noticed today that a lot more people are turning out at the church. There's been families turning up with children, people that we've never seen before.
Hiya! Everybody, it's Lenny's birthday today. He's 70. Can we all sing happy birthday to him? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Just overwhelmed now.
Overwhelmed.
Nice.
My hope is I'm helping as much people as I can, and I do what I do, but it'd be nice to be able to change a lot of people's opinions. You know, maybe a lot more people would have a bit more understanding, a bit more empathy, a bit more compassion.
It's hard-hitting, isn't it? But I thought it was important to show it, because firstly, both Angela Macbeth of Chorley Buddies and Andrea Horrocks of Watch Us Grow highlighted their hope for greater understanding, support and community engagement post the pandemic. A call to action for every individual, every public sector body, every business, large and small. Secondly, because the Community Foundation for Lancashire works hard on an ongoing basis with its partners to address local disadvantage, in times of crisis and emergency, we are called upon by many for help. Over £1 million distributed to those in need during the floods in 2015 and over £2 million distributed during the pandemic. Not only did community groups come to us looking for help and support during the pandemic, but the National Emergencies Trust, set up in 2019 to respond to emergencies, realised that community foundations were the only network that had a physical presence and local insight in every part of the UK, to award funds in a robust manner, and collectively we quickly helped them distribute over £68 million of emergency funding. Sir John Cunliffe, Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, also consulted with the Community Foundation for Lancashire during the height of the pandemic. He and his team wanted insight as to what was happening in Lancashire's most disadvantaged communities, the challenges and the need. We involved 5 community groups in a 2-hour Zoom. One of the challenges the groups faced was the financial support for many businesses was being withdrawn, as businesses had understandably gone into survival mode. Local authorities also sought our support with the establishment of the Lancashire COVID-19 Community Support Fund, which we coordinated and managed donations across the county. In summary, the Community Foundation for Lancashire is an infrastructure organisation, a facilitator, an enabler, and a phenomenal asset. They are the words of the groups and partners we work with. So what are we asking of you this evening? There are many magnificent businesses in the room, and we are asking your business to become a Lancashire investor in community, to support the ongoing work and development of your community foundation. A relatively small annual contribution that will help make us stronger and resilient so we can deliver even greater things for the community in the next 14 years. We need the support of local businesses, large and small, to do that. The Cumbria Community Foundation has 130 businesses supporting it annually. Wouldn't it be great if Lancashire businesses responded to the high score of multiple deprivation I mentioned earlier by being the county that has the highest number of businesses supporting its community foundation? Your contribution will make a difference. Should you wish, my team and I will be delighted to meet with you, provide you with our insight, help and guide and shape your business CSR, and keep you updated on an ongoing basis with community developments. You'll see in the leaflet on your table outlining the initiative and its aspirations. You can also find our Lancashire COVID-19 report and more detail on what we do in the reception area. Please also talk to us this evening as we'll be here after the event closes. If you'd like to make a commitment this evening in becoming a Lancashire investor in community, we are ready and can take payment. So please do come and see us. I can't thank Booths and United Utilities enough for their commitment as founding investors. But Lancashire is a county of many SMEs, and we need your support too. I also want to give one final thanks to the Community Foundation for Lancashire's chair, Arthur Roberts, who, having held senior positions in BNFL throughout his career, has volunteered his time for almost 14 years in guiding our development and continued growth. Thank you, Arthur. Time well spent, I feel. I'm conscious dinner awaits, but I'd like to leave you with a very short video produced before the pandemic. I promise it's more uplifting. And it illustrates from the community group's perspective the impact the Community Foundation for Lancashire's support has. Thank you.
When anybody comes to the club, it's more than just the facilities. The organisation itself has been developed and has grown from the people who come and the people who work here and the people who are passionate about it.
In the past, before I did join the club, I'd say I was associating with the wrong kind of groups. Probably mainly getting myself into trouble. But then I think over the year of my first year of being at the club and noticing what they're actually doing, it gave me that idea of I want to do that, and I want to start putting my way into the club and hopefully giving off some vision to the kids that hopefully they could grow up and just have a bit more responsibility and just respect for everyone, just from being around positive people, thriving on wanting to do good things.
Working with a small charity, a grassroots charity that doesn't get the support of big funders, it's getting the message out there. And one thing that Christelle and Bibus have both done for us, including the Lancashire Foundation, is help put us back on the map, which is really important for our organisation today.
The name of the organisation is the Puka Disability Resource Centre. We've been around for about 20 years now. We work with people with disabilities and carers. In addition to that, we provide a number of classes and services at the centre for people who are unemployed. So we run work clubs and job clubs. We help people who've not used computers before, who want to improve their computer skills. In addition to that, we support people who have debt. So we look at the whole person, then we're able to refer that person on to more appropriate support. The funding has helped us to do a lot of in-depth work really with people and allowed us to broaden our services and be able to support more people. We'd like to thank everyone from the Community Foundation and all our staff really and our trustees. You know, we hopefully will continue to engage with Community Foundation for the support. Thank you.
I set this group up just over 6 years ago to combat loneliness and isolation and bring people together in friendship. So what I did was I looked at statistics in the area, and in Fylde at the time there was something like 78,000 people that were living in Fylde, and a third of those lived alone. So having seen that and realising that there was a need for it, I thought I'll do something about it. I think for me what's really, really important is keeping things local, so we can tell people everything else that's going on in the area. And I think it's about a community joining together to work together to change lives, to make a difference to people's lives. And it's so heartwarming for me when I see somebody's journey, and they can be quite broken when they first come in, and then within a very short space of time they're laughing and they're enjoying life. So changing loneliness to happiness is our key priority.
I just wanted to say a few words really to call an end to proceedings tonight, because I know quite a lot of you got large distances to travel going home. And I'd just like to say a few thank yous again to all of you for coming along this evening, and particularly actually to 12 who have put on the catering, and to Caroline and her team. Could we put our hands together for them? They've been absolutely wonderful. I, for one, was very grateful not to have an omelette and beans tonight, because that's what I normally have on a Tuesday. So anyway, I just wanted to perhaps just pick up on a bit of the buzz that's been going around. You've had quite a lot to absorb this evening about, what Community Foundation does, what Lancashire Investors and Community is going to be all about, and so on. And just really to not so much reiterate, but emphasise the point that the actual membership group we're talking of here is going to help the organisation really grow in capacity and capability, quite remarkably actually, if we're anything like as successful, and I hope we'll be more, than Cumbria. Now, beyond that, and my company understands this very well as well, there may be instances where we want to benefit a particular aspect of voluntary work in the county, be it geographic or a particular theme. Then we can all talk to the foundation and say, well, look, this is the sort of thing that our business wants to concentrate this year or for the next 3 years and so on. And then we can organise as businesses, special donations to go towards those causes through the foundation, and that would go into what's called the Red Rose Fund. What we're talking about tonight is actually supporting the actual entity to grow in capacity and reach and its ability to do even more good on the ground, and of course to secure more opportunities for conversations, both with high net worth individuals and businesses, many of whom of course we won't touch tonight and maybe for years, because there are thousands of us in the county. So I just wanted to reiterate that point. But certainly from personal experience with the membership of the Cumbria group, I can't speak volubly enough really about the benefit to people on the ground, the reach that Cumbria now has, and of course that's quite a diverse county, both in terms of its geography, demographics and so on, and the value we've had out of attending seminars, webinars, and you're invited to an AGM every year up there. Hint, hint, we're looking for the next dinner to be confirmed, right? But who knows? This is the very beginning. This is the birth process. We've gone through the agony of birth now, and we are hopefully becoming a new baby. So thank you very much indeed for attending tonight. Thank you for your patience, and I hope you've enjoyed the meal as much as I have. Thank you very much.